Hello again, and welcome to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. Now, as anyone knows who watches my videos on a regular basis, it'll come as no surprise when I say that I'm not a supporter of the television licence system in the UK. My reason for this is rather simple. It's not as I'm a freeloader or trying to get something for nothing. It's just that I don't believe that the British people in the year 2017 should have to seek the state's permission and pay for that permission to carry out mundane activities in their own homes, such as watching a television. It's the 21st century. Why are we still using a funding model that belongs in the 19th century? And moving on slowly, I would like to share with you a story that broke in the Daily Mail yesterday, which many of you probably already know about, but it's entitled "Exposed: BBC TV Licence Bullies." Now, the TV licence funds the BBC. There's a bit of top slicing goes on, which goes to government, but mainly the money's sort of pumped back, or certainly the lion's share of it is pushed back to the BBC, and they use it to make quality programmes. And this story sort of exposes what many people have been saying in resistance groups for years, which is that Capita, who collect the licence fee on behalf of the BBC, are bullies. You know, they turn up at your door if you don't have a TV licence, and they can call at any time, you know, day or night, and basically start trying to pile pressure on you to get you to either confess that you've been watching or recording live TV, or buy a licence there and then. And I think there's a figure in there quoted that an operative has to hit 28 licences sales per week, and then anything on top of that, you know, is their own type of thing. But they must hit 28. If they don't, this question's asked as to why. So let's look at this logically. They could turn up at 28 houses who legally don't need a TV licence, like I don't, because you've removed the requirement by no longer watching live TV. You know, you've sort of unplugged the aerial and detune your TV, and you don't watch live broadcasts, so therefore you don't need one. So there's, like I said, there's pressure on these guys, and it's just exposing the tactics. You know, there's a guy in there, a senior manager, a man named Ian Doyle. He's been a bit of a YouTube star in the past when he was out in the field, and he's actually bragging about, you know, how greedy Capita are, and he's really sold them downriver. You know, it makes a very interesting read. So I'll post a link to the Daily Mail story underneath for those of you who can't obtain a copy of this story, but are interested in it and you've missed it. So, moving on to my own personal case, why did I cancel the TV licence well over 2 years ago now? You know, is it because I'm some kind of, you know, anti-establishment anarchist? Well, no, I'm not. Is it the fact that I don't like leftist propaganda and pro-EU propaganda being pumped into me home? Well, I don't share that view of the world, but no, it's not that. You know, is it the lies that they blatantly tell sometimes on the news programmes? And you can go and look that up on the internet, and they have lied blatantly. No, it's not that. Is it the countless sex scandals, you know, Jimmy Savile, Rolf Harris, Stuart Hall, Jonathan King, you know, involving children, which is disgusting? No, it's not that. You know, although that would be a reason in itself to bloody kick the television out through the front window, but no, it's not that. Is it the fact that they spend licence fee payers' hard-earned money, you know, they throw it about like confetti? No, it's not that. You know, so what is it then? Well, simply, me and my wife found that we was watching less and less live television. Not just BBC, but across the board. You know, ITV, all the, Channel 4, all them. We was just watching less and less, simply because the output of television in the UK has become so poor. So we found out we was watching, you know, YouTube, streaming. We was doing that, and it wasn't coming up to renewal time, but we knew it was in the non too distant future, and we just got on about it one evening, and my wife said, "I don't think we should pay this," and I said, "Well, we have a telly, love. I don't see how we can't." But anyway, I decided to look into it, and sure enough, we didn't need to pay, because we wasn't watching live television. So I thought, well, I want to stay on the right side of the law. I don't want to break law. I pay my council tax, I pay my road tax when that's due. I don't try and dodge out of anything. How do I opt out? So I wrote to the BBC. I actually sent them an email under Freedom of Information, requesting the best way to make my equipment legally compliant. And the response I got from them was such a wishy-washy response. I suddenly realised that if I chose to cancel my licence, I was basically out there on my own. They wasn't going to give me any help whatsoever. And they hid behind the thing that if we can't give you this information because, it may help evade us. It was a cop-out, basically. I was also scammed because when you ask for a refund, I used to always pay for my licence 12 months in advance in the year. And what television licensing do is they break it into quarters, each containing 3 months. So when you ask for a refund, you may have 5 months to run on the licence still, but they'll only pay you back to the nearest full quarter, which is 3 months. So you lose 2 months. That's a little bit of a scam that the government state that they'll look into and make them pay back, the complete amount. It's like rounding down to the nearest pound, isn't it, when you get your change? You wouldn't be so happy, would you? So anyway, going back to my own story, I phoned them up, and all they was capable of doing, they didn't try and say, well, what's your reason for cancelling? They did ask me what my reason was, but it wasn't a concern of, have you got a problem with the quality or anything. It was just, well, I must inform you that, if you are caught watching live television, you may be taken to court and you may be fined $1,000, and it was threat after threat after threat. Now, because I was asking for a refund, they set me up a thing called a no licence needed declaration, and for 2 years, as people will know who've been watching the previous series as I've done, Letters from TV Licensing, we was left alone. It was great. We didn't get no letters, we didn't get nobody knocking on the door, and although the threat of somebody knocking on the door was always there, we was just left alone, so it was fantastic. But when the time come to make this no licence needed declaration again, I'd already looked up by then and started looking into it, and I realised that I didn't need to make any declaration. I didn't need to deal with television licensing whatsoever if I didn't want to. So some might say it's a bit pig-headed and it's a bit, petulant, me doing what I'm doing, but if I'm not legally required to do it, then I'm not going to do it, I'm afraid. So I decided to ignore them, and that's when the letters started coming through to the present day. For us, personally speaking, it's been a good decision, because now that the £145 that we've saved every year, we can spend it on entertainment that we want to watch, rather than just chucking it on entertainment that we probably wouldn't watch. That's my reason. That's another good reason for cancelling it if you're not watching it. But yeah, it makes very interesting reading this, and like I said, I will put a link both to the Daily Mail and to the resistance forums that gave me so much great advice, where BBC television wasn't interested in it whatsoever. I do personally think that the BBC's days are numbered, and eventually they will have to embrace subscription, whether they want to or not. They will resist it with every bone and fibre in their bodies, because simply they know what people will do. They'll hide behind the encryption. They'll just say, well, I won't bother taking a subscription out and I don't need paying them. They'll also kick them in teeth for all those years when they was forced to pay for programmes that they probably didn't want to watch. So anyway, that's it. I'm just making you aware of that story. Some people have made me aware of it in my other videos, and I thank them for that. So, until the next time when we're out and about again, or I get another letter from TV licensing, bye-bye for now.